Borderline personality disorder. Let's get this out of the way right now. Everything I'm about to say is based only off of my personal experience, what I believe to be true, nothing else. I tell you exactly 100% for a fact what to expect when dealing with counseling for borderline personality disorder. What exactly is counseling? Hell if I know. A bunch of people trying to pretend they know how the brain works.
Explain which words mean which feelings has ever helped anyone do anything. I think it's helped a lot of people get comfortable and stop panicking, which is a state of mind we value in the animals we eat, but not something I want for myself. I'm not a cow. I'm a pickle.
So I don't know how counseling works if you have money. I do not have money. All of my counseling was thankfully provided free of charge from the states. I have state health insurance. Oh, I just got to give you a shout out. Let's thank the great state of Oregon for this great OHP. It's amazing insurance. This insurance is so good that I would be insane to want to get a job. If you take into account the insurance, what I am making off the insurance when I'm going to all these appointments, getting these rides, everything taken care of, the 6 months / 8 months at a country club, that place was expensive. I think they said it was something like $5,000 or $6,000 a month for just me. The state paid that for 8 months, maybe 9, 8 to 9 months. I could not get a job that would pay me that much in a year. I love the insurance. At the same time, if I were to get a job, a full-time job, I would lose the insurance, and then I would have to rely on my employer to give me insurance.
You will not fuck me in the ass.
However you wind up in front of a counselor, this is how the counseling process goes. You're going to first probably meet with somebody that really is not important at all. They're not a counselor. I don't even know what to call them. They analyze you. They decide if you're really crazy enough to see a counselor, which you are. Everybody is. It's about
Dollar bills, y'all.
It's really a waste of time. That's your first hour of counseling. Then you'll, if you're lucky, get to actually see a counselor in about a month, maybe 2. If you're really unlucky, you're going to be waiting 3 to 4 months before you actually get your first appointment with a counselor. In that time, it is your responsibility to keep your shit together. Put it in a bag, do whatever you got to do with it, but make sure your shit is together. Don't lose your shit during this first waiting period, because you're going to want to. So you got to hold on to that shit and make sure it's nice and together. Keep your shit together. Finally, after an eternity, you'll have your first appointment with the counselor. This is just going to be a bunch of wasted time. It's a get to know you, a meet and greet. In between your first and your second appointment with this counselor, you'll meet up with the pill person, the only one that's allowed to give you pills. This is where you have to state the symptoms that you have that will hopefully, this is the pill lottery. If you say the right things in the right way, you can get whatever pills you like that you know work. If you're like me, you know which pills you like and which pills you don't. You've experimented with the pills without a pill person because you're nuts. You've been trying to get your shit together. Until you've gotten into counseling, you've been experimenting with pills. I knew which pills I liked. I did not get any of the pills I liked. I did not win the pill lottery. Instead, I got all the pills that I really didn't want and didn't like. Regardless, you're getting pills. You tell them what's wrong with you, they're going to find pills that are supposed to make that all go away. There's tons of side effects. It's going to make you sick at first, and you can't expect the pill to do anything for you for the first couple months. You just take these pills that make you sick, could have all these side effects, which will show no signs of working for months. You will then meet this pill person monthly, where if the pills are showing some kind of effect, which are usually a side effect, it'll be nice things: uncontrollable blood vomiting, erectile dysfunction, explosive, unpredictable diarrhea, these types of things. Those are going on, then you'll adjust the meds to try to make that not go on. Or if there's nothing at all going on, then you'll up the meds until something happens, which is generally the explosive diarrhea. Unpredictable as well. Sometimes you just scrap the pills that you're taking and start off with a new batch. A lot of this is just getting to know you stuff. The counselor cannot give you pills. No matter what you tell the counselor, they cannot give you pills, so don't even waste your time. I've learned this the hard way. Nor do they seem to actually ever really listen to what you're saying. No matter how specific and clear you try to make it, they usually generally do not listen. Out of all of the counselors that I've had over the years, I have not gotten along with any of them. We've all seen my BPD situation from total different sides of the spectrum. And no matter how much I try to explain it to them, they tell me I'm wrong. So you're going to have to put up with that. They're going to tell you you're wrong, even though you know you're right. It's going to be a constant every week. You're just going to be arguing. You're going to do so much arguing that, well, very little growth will actually happen. Full of shit. You don't got to listen to them. Argue with them. It's okay. I did. I argued with them every damn week. Arguing. Back and forth. There were some heated arguments too. A couple times I got up and stormed out. We didn't even finish the meeting. I always went back for the next one though. No matter how much you argue with them, I recommend that you keep going back. Why? Because you want to win the argument. Eventually you'll win. They'll transfer you to somebody else. Or you're cured. Most likely this counselor can't really just pass you off to somebody else because there is nobody else to pass you off to. And they're probably not going to cure you because, well, they need to make money. If you're cured, they don't make money. They need you to come back every week, every other week. And if you're on the state government paid money, they love you. You're the greatest. They know you're going to pay. Well, you're not going to pay, but they know they're getting paid. They are, though, going to need help with your ass. They did with me. This is when they call in backup. Well, not literally. They don't literally call in backup and a bunch of dudes storm in, chain you down and tell you you're going to get better. Start smacking you in the face with DBT, just smacking you in the face like you're in some raunchy porno from the 70s, just slapping you all up in the face with DBT skills. Radical acceptance, whack right into the face, and a splooge of acceptance to wash over you. This is when they will suggest group meetings. The one-on-one sessions are great. You will benefit from some group interaction, some group meetings. You may get a lot of these group meetings. I had to go to several group meetings for different things. We're not talking about different things right now, though. We're talking about BPD, borderline personality disorder. The group meeting that you will be sent to for this one will be dialectical behavioral therapy, also known as DBT. way easier to refer to it as DBT than dialectical behavioral therapy. Ugh, that'll make your tongue hurt. Once you've gotten into the DBT, you'll probably see this counselor once a month now. They didn't actually shift you to somebody else, but they got rid of your ass a little bit. You're most likely going to be seeing them once a month now. You'll see the pill person probably every 3 months at this point. Now you're definitely going to DBT once a week or twice a week. In some cases, 3 times a week. This now becomes your main counseling is DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, or as I like to call it, brainwashing, or an even more accurate, probably, word, reprogramming. That is what DBT is. It is all of those. Brainwashing, it is reprogramming, it is therapy. The reason you're going to this group therapy 3 or 2 times a week is because that's how reprogramming and brainwashing works. It would be ideal if you were going more, but then you might start to resist it. They gotta beat you down slowly with it. So you start the reprogramming process. Become a distraction in the group. I made sure to steer every group so that we were focused on me, and all I was doing was just giving counter arguments for whatever the topic of the day was. If it was radical acceptance, I'd be against radical acceptance. Yeah, radical acceptance is the only one I can even remember. There are lots of them, but radical acceptance was the one that I seemed to have the hardest time understanding and grasping. It's a bunch of hippie type sounding stuff, pretty much, that contradicts itself and doesn't make any doesn't make any type of sense whatsoever. Garbage. That's why I wasn't going to listen to them, because it made no sense to me. What they were trying to tell me, never heard of it before, definitely couldn't see how I could use it in my life, and it just contradicted itself. Also, it wouldn't work in the real world. I made sure that every group, I made sure that everybody else there saw this bullshit, so they didn't get brainwashed, and called them out on their shit for the entire time. Now, I wasn't outright malicious in my disturbance of the group. I was just not even argumentative. I had questions. Every question they answered, I would have another question. As I've been telling you, this is stuff that I'd never heard of before. Didn't see any way that it could have any real practical use in my everyday life. Seemed to contradict itself. I could swear it does. I still think it does. They tell me it doesn't. I had questions and I needed those answered for me to accept this brainwashing that they were trying to do. I still have not accepted the brainwashing. I have come to realize that this is the way that I need to think to get along with everybody, with people in general. This was basic social interaction. The things they presented were ways of going against everything that I'd ever believed and thought. What my mind would first instantaneously want to do, all of these things that they were teaching us went against that, was the complete opposite of it. They wanted me to admit that I was wrong about everything. Not only to admit it, but to accept it. And then to take what they said on blind faith. That's a lot to ask. It depends on the situation you're in. You're sitting in a DBT class, and the reason you're there is because you are about to lose everyone that you've ever had. Your whole life is falling apart. You need to change. You do not like the person that you are. You can't stand the person you are. You don't like yourself. You hate yourself. You're your worst enemy. Desperately want to do different. You've accepted that you're a monster and that anything is better than the life you're living. You don't expect to leave this DBT class as the person that you are. You want to destroy that person. You want to kill that person. Once you're done with DBT, be a completely different person. Then, if you don't have some asshole disrupting the group the whole time, you'll probably get something out of it and benefit. Maybe. If you really do believe those things. If you are just there because you're mandated to be there, your counselor says it's good for you to be there, any of the reasons, the millions of reasons that you could be sitting in a DVD class, but it's not the reason that you hate yourself and want yourself, you want to kill who you are and become someone new, someone different with all new ideas. If that's not the reason, you'll get nothing out of it. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of the group's time. I wouldn't even bother. You have to be at a point where you want to, well, that you admit that you don't know shit about anything, that everything that you think is wrong. That also means that your whole identity is wrong. Your sense of self is definitely way out of whack. You don't even know who you are. It's a complete breakdown, destruction of everything that you have been to reform and rebuild an entirely different person, thoughts, and all of that. That is what it can do. Most of the time, I don't think it works because a lot of people don't want to change that much. They want situational things to change, probably. Get along with friends and family better. Have people let you come around again. Not go to jail so often. These are all situational things they want to change. They believe that going to counseling, going to DBT will change the situational. It won't. You'll still find yourself in these situational events because you're the one putting yourself there. If you want to change, yeah, I think you get my point. Maybe. I don't even get my point. Do I have a point? I think this was just all to say that this channel was sponsored by OHP, Go Go Oregon Health Plan. Have you gone to counseling? The type of counseling I'm talking about? Or have you gone to the big high woo counseling? Yeah, the woo counseling. You know what I'm talking about. If so, there's a comment section. Use it. Let me know what you think of it. If you liked this video and you'd like to see videos that are exactly like this but have nothing to do with this type of video whatsoever, be sure to check out my Patreon page. It only costs $1. You get access to over 200 authentic videos. Here's a sneak peek. I'm doing things that I despise that go against my core beliefs so that I can pay for other people to fucking not appreciate it. I don't know. Links in the description below.
I'd buy that for $1.
If you're still watching, hit subscribe. You obviously like me. You're still here. Hit subscribe, hit subscribe, hit subscribe, hit subscribe, hit subscribe. Yeah. Be sure to hit that bell, ring-a-ding-ding that bell, so that you will be notified when part 2 of this video comes out. Why do I even need to say there's a part 2? Because the damn title is going to say part 1. So why do I even need to tell them there's going to be a part 2? Aren't they smart enough to know that? And if they're smart enough to know that, they're already going to know about the stupid damn bell that they got to ring-a-ding-ding. And they're probably already following me on Patreon, so they won't need to fucking see no link in the description nor a sneak peek. And if they know all of that, of course they've subscribed. A wise man once said, If your heart is filled with confusion as you walk into the wilderness, you are sure to hit your head on squirrel shit. I like that because it reminds me of exactly what counseling is. A bunch of squirrel shit with confusion. Till next time, keep on, keep it on.
What now?